Today we are going to discuss about the different type of model that is based on the data. So such type of model is usually used in the data science. So we are going to start today the empirical modeling. So before going to start the empirical modeling, what we have studied yet, just we have summarized. So in this slide, you can see we have gone through the different types of model based on the thermodynamics law of conservation. Okay, so the first was, we have covered about, the tank system. We have covered the tank system, single tank system. Then we have covered the single double tank. In the double tank, we have seen the different types of the connection, that is the interacting and as well as the non-interacting, right? Third, we have seen the heating system. Then we have seen the blending system. Okay, so we have covered all these model that is usually found in the chemical process industries. And last, we have covered in the previous class, that is the thermometer. We have classified the models into the two types of generally model. First was the lumped type of the model, and second one was the distributed parametric model, and first was the lumped parametric model. Okay, so we have also seen the linear model as well as the non-linear model. Okay, non-linear model and the linear model. So we have seen the different example. Today we are going to summarize this one. So first of all, what we have to do, the first procedure is for development of any model, you have to write the balance equation. You have to identify the equation, which type of balance are going to be applied. So usually we have the mass, component, and energy balance. So we have either applied the mass balance or the component balance or the energy balance. Okay. Then if the system has containing the linear, non-linear term, like CH power 1 by 2, we have already seen in the valve. Okay, so we have to linearize this equation with the help of the Taylor series expansion. Taylor series, right? We already gone through. Then after the linearization, now we have to find out the deviation variable. The deviation variable, that is, write the equation in the form of first in the mass balance, and then you find the write the steady state equation. You have to write two equations. First is the unsteady state equation, and second one is the steady state equation. This is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, and take the 1 minus 2. Let H minus HS. Okay, so H minus HS will give capital H. Okay, that is the deviation variable. That deviation variable equation. Now what we'll do, we got the first order differential equation, that is the ODE. It will give the ODE, and then we'll take the Laplace transform of that system, that equation. Okay, and considering all the initial condition 0 due to the linear balance. Okay, otherwise you are not able to find the transfer function, right? So solve this equation and transform the equation into the transfer function, and overall you find out the relation between the output and input. So we have already done these things. So if you have any query, you may ask, otherwise I will proceed further in order to find out the different model. Yes? No?
No, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss the empirical model. So what do you understand by the empirical model? So empirical model is just an introductory class for the empirical model. We will cover the linear regression model, how we are going to develop the linear regression. Our lecture will restrict to the linear regression. However, if you want to study more details about the nonlinear regression model, I will provide some references so that you can study. Those who are interested in the data science, those who are interested in the machine learning, who can refer this reference. Okay. So we are going to start with the empirical model. Empirical model, we have already discussed that the model are generally based on theoretical model as well as the empirical model, and third one was the mixed. So which was the
Semi.
semi, yes, you can say semi empirical model. Yes, very good, thank you. Semi empirical model. So in the semi empirical model, we will just utilize both the concept, theoretical as well as the empirical. However, in the empirical model, generally we find we try to develop the model. We will try to develop the model based on the data, based on the history. Okay, based on the historical data, you can say, based on the historical data. Let's say we have the relation between the efficiency of any car. You can say that efficiency of the car will depends on the efficiency means the power consumption. Power consumption means the fuel consumption. Okay, the fuel consumption will generally depends on the throttle, opening of the throttle or opening of the closing of the throttle. Okay, so simply we can say the fuel. Okay, fuel throttle. Okay, so we have the different data for, let's say we have the fuel at this point, the efficiency was this one, 1, 2, and in such a way we have defined the fuel and the efficiency. And now we want to draw a model. We want to develop a model, okay, based on this data. So such type of the development of model is generally come under the category of the empirical modeling. So we have the different tools in order to develop that model, in which you have already studied. I think if you have not, ARMA model, auto regression moving average model. Simple model is, all based on the regression. Okay, the concept behind all these model are the regression. So we'll try to cover the first, linear regression. Okay, so what is the definition of the empirical model? So empirical model is based only on the data. Based on the data, you can say the historical data in more appropriate way. Historical data. Okay, historical data, and is used to predict, not explain, a system. An empirical model consists of a system function that captures the trend of the data. Okay, wait a minute. So is everybody visible?
Yes, sir.
So empirical model. Please mute your mic. Okay, empirical model generally consists of a function that captures the trend of the data. Based on this trend of the data, let's say we have the two variable x1 and x2, and x2 depends on the x1, and let's say we have the different types of the trend we get. Okay, so we will try to find out the model based on this historical best fitted model. So it also comes under the category of the curve fitting. You can say the curve fitting, right? So sometimes it is very difficult. What is the motivation of this empirical model? So sometimes it is very difficult or impossible to develop the mathematical model that explains a situation. So in the case of thermometer, we have already seen we have assumed so many assumptions. Okay. So at the time we are going to take the assumptions, it means you are not model the system in the realistic world. Okay. So however, the data, historical data is only gives the model based on the historical data only will gives that you can say the more realistic. Okay. So if the data exists, okay, we can often use this data as a sole basis for an empirical model which consists of a function that fits the data. Right? So we will find what are the different types of that you can say data. So data will fast क्या करेगा वो that will suggest a model. Now what we will do in the model, let's say we have the model y is equals to a naught plus b naught x. Okay. So these are the parameters a naught and b naught. A naught and b naught are the our estimated parameters what we are going to estimate this one. Then what we will do, once the y is equals to, let's say we find mx plus c, where m and c is our estimated parameters. And let's say we have find, let's say we have a model 2x plus 3. So now we will try to test this model. Either this model will take the x and y value, we will take the number of x value and find out the y, and we will try to fit this model. Either this model is whatever you found is generally you can say gets validated or not for your based on the previous data. Okay. So we have to test that model. Okay. Now this is the basis of, you can say, the empirical model. Okay. So you can now conclude that empirical model is only based on the data, and it is nothing but the used for only the prediction. Okay, prediction. So okay, so one thing is very important here: the empirical, whatever the model you have developed with the help of the empirical data, that model will not provide any, you can say, anything about the system. Okay, let's say we have the mass damper or the chemical process, any chemical process or the mass damper problem. This model you can't say that this model belongs to either the mass damper or the single tank or the double tank or whatever, you don't know. Okay, so it will not provide the, you can say, the model, the system explain, you can say. Okay, now come to that. Okay, before going into the detail of this slope and whatever, just I am starting with the basic of this linear regression. Okay, so this is the very you can say the basics of linear, you can say the basic of linear regression. Okay, so let's say we take one example, and this example is very classical. Let's assume that you are running a very small, you can say, restaurant. You are a small restaurant. You are running a very small restaurant. Okay, you are running a small restaurant, or you can say you are a small restaurant owner. Okay, or you can say a very business minded server. You can translate like this, or you can say you are the waiter at a very nice restaurant. Here, generally in India, you know that in India, we are giving some tips. We are providing or we are providing tips to the waiter. Okay, and it is very important part. This tips is, this tips is very important. Tips is very important part. Very important part for the generation of money or the salary. The salary is a part of the salary. Okay. So this most of the time, you can say most of the time, this tip is related to whatever you are paid, the total bill, related to the, you can say, total bill. Okay, let's say you have expended 10,000 rupee in the restaurant, then generally you will provide 100 rupee. And if you are, let's say, if you are expended 5,000 rupee, generally you are provided 50 rupees. So it's like that we have classified this tips based on the total bill. Okay, so as the owner or as the waiter owner, you can say, you would like to develop a model that will allow you to make about what amount of the tip to expect for any given bill amount. Is it okay? So let's say for this purpose you have collected data. Therefore, one evening, you can say one evening, you have collected the data for, let's say, 6 meals, and you have want to correlate at which time or at which type of the bill will provide you and how much that you can expect from that bill. Okay, what amount of the tip you can expect from that bill. So you want to develop such type of model. Okay, now see, is the problem is clear? Okay, so now you can write here, let's say we have the such type of meal, we have number that meal, and let's say this is the tip amount. We got the tip amount in rupees. Okay, so let's say we have the 6 meal, 1 2 3 4 5 6 meal. Based on this meal, let's say we got 5 rupees in the first meal. Let's say we got 17 rupee for the second meal, 11 rupee for the third meal, 8 rupee for the fourth meal, like that 14, and let's say 5 rupees. I'm just giving them an example. This is the model, this is the data. But this data have how many variable? If you see in the mathematics, this data have only the one variable, this one. You can say unfortunately, when you begin to look your data, you realize that you only collected data for the tip amount, and not the meal, amount. Am I right? Yes or no? So,
Yes, sir.
so this is the best data you have. You can say this is your best data, but as you know that if the meal, if the meal amount was added, then it will give more accurate model. However, you don't have that such type of facility, or you have not collected that such type of data. So you can say that this data, this model, this data you have, whatever, just the best fitted, best data you have. Okay. So now your task is, so question is, how might you predict the tip amount, tip amount for, you can say, the future meals using only this data. Based on this data, we are trying to predict the tip amount. Okay. So what you will do? What you will do? So what we will do now, please see. You can say that we have the meal and we have the tips. Okay. So you can say here, let's say tip, you are getting the maximum value of this tips is 17 rupee, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 17 rupee. So just you have divided this y-axis, the tips. Let's say we have the 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, okay, 16, and let's say 18. And the meal, number of meal is, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now see, for the first meal, the tip amount was the 5 rupee. For the second meal, the amount is 17 rupees. For the third meal, it is 11 rupee, so it will come here. For the fourth meal, it will come up to 8. Okay. Or for the fifth, it is a 14. It is a 14. And for the sixth, it was 5. It was, you can say, 5. So this is the, you can say, based on your, you can see the data also. Okay. So you got 1. First, for the first meal, you got 5. You got 18, or you get 17 for the second meal. Third, it is 11. For the fourth, it is 8. For the fifth, it is the 14. And for the sixth, it is the 5. Okay. So this is the, you can say, the representation. Now you want to try to find out the best fitted data. You are going to fit this data. So I will fit. So try to find out the mean of this mean value. So what is the mean value of this value? You can you find out? So we have the 6 experiment or 6 meals. So it will be becomes 22 or 30, 60, and it is 6 meal. Number of this is 6, and this is rupee 60. So y bar, it will give 10 rupee. 10 rupee, right? So 10 rupee the best fitted line. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are trying to draw a line which is the best fitted line here, that is the $10 or 10 rupee, rupees 10. This value is the 10 rupee. And this is the, you can say, the best fit line. Okay. So in this case, this line is the best fitted line. इतना इसी के आसपास आपको will whatever you got as a tip, इसके near about आपको मिलेगा. But this is not accurate because you know how? Because you don't have the different data. आपके पास meal का amount नहीं है. You don't have the amount of that bill. Okay. However, okay, the concept now we are going to only the build. We are trying to build the concept here. So, okay, now what we are going to do, the next part you can say here, that is your goodness of fit. Goodness of fit for the tips. For the tips. And to find out the goodness of the fit is 10 rupee, nothing else. So let's say this amount is 5 rupees. So what is the difference between your fitted value and your data? In this case, it is a -5, if I'm not wrong. In similar way, you can say here, this one was 17, so it is the 7 rupee plus 7. This one is +1. What you have done, you have find out the distance between the distance between the data and the reference point or the fitted value, fitted line. Okay, this will give the -2. This will give the +4, and this will give the -5 again. Okay. So the interesting part is, if you see, if you add the number below the reference line or the best fitted value, you found that this value is -12. This value is -12, -5, -2, -5, and same such type of value will got in the above the line or above the fitted line. That is the 17 plus 4 plus 1, that is the 12. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this value, the difference between this and this, the fitted line and this line, this value and this value, this is called generally, yes, please anyone can tell what is called? Please, what we can call, what can it called? What is name? The difference between the fitted value minus your data value. That value can be called as, please, a residue, or sometimes it is called error. So most of the time it is called the error. However, in the book it is also written the residuals. Okay.
Yes.
Now the question is, sometimes we have seen what we have done. We are squaring the error. We are taking the squaring the error. Squaring the error. So the question is why we are, so what is the use of this error? Why you are going to find out the error? This model, this is the whatever you find the best fitted model you are going to say. You are not satisfied with this model. So for this purpose, you just developed a model. Now our target is to minimize this error or the deviation between the fitted value and the data value. So for that purpose, let's say just we have drawn a table. That table says the means, the residual, and you can say the residual square, R square. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for first and second, you can now just define. For first is a -5. This will provide the 25. This will give +7. So it is 9. This is +1. So it is +1. For the fourth is a -2. So it will provide 4. +4 will 16. And for the -5, it is 25. Okay. So when you add this value, sum of a square of the error, SSE, a very, very important term in the data science, it will provide 120. It will give the 120 as sum of square error. This is the sum of a square error. So why we will generate it or writing the sum of a square SSE? Why we are generating? So question is, why a square of error, or you can say residual, we have taken, we are considering. So anyone want to give the answer?
So to find the root mean square.
Sorry?
So to find the root mean value.
Root mean value, okay. Why you are want to find the root mean value? What significance, physical significance क्या है उसका?
Yes, sure.
Anyone? Okay, let's see. The first answer, the very suitable answer is, you have found the error either in the positive or in the negative. This is the negative error, this is the positive error, the positive error, the negative error, the negative positive error, like that. For the mathematical analysis, it is very tough to calculate, to handle the minus and plus error. So what we are going to do for the analysis purpose, we make that all the positive. Okay, so we make them positive. First benefit from the square of residual is this one. And second one is very, very crucial and very important also. Your visualization, if you represent, this -5, let's say now for the 25 is the error, 25 is the error, 49 is the error. So the visualization becomes very clear. You got the larger deviation, you can say for this value, you got the larger deviation. Your deviation is very clear, or you can say visualization is clear. So you make it for the purpose of you get, or you can say emphasizes on the larger, you can say, deviation. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no?
Can you repeat the last thing? The emphasis on
Larger deviation means, let's say, wait a minute, just I'm showing you. Let's say we have let's say the first will give the -5, second will give the +7, third will give the +1, fourth will give the -2, fifth one will give the +4, sixth one is give the -5. So when it will 25 because it will the 25. Yes or no?
Yes,
So
sir.
25 is this one, like the visualization. Now we are going to draw the visualization. And 49, you can see here, this one is becomes now your 49 part. This one the 49. This is the 25. Now this is the plus 1. This is the 4. This is the 16. And this is the 25. So the visualization is very clear. You know that the area, whatever this error has higher deviation. Okay. For this purpose, we have taken the squared error. Squared error, or you can say residual. Okay. And the sum of a square, you got, that is the SSE. Sum of a square error, you got as SSE, that is the 120. Okay.
Yes.
So now, from the next discussion, that discussion is now SSE, sum of a square. The goal is very clear. The goal of this discussion, you can say the goal of the simple linear regression is to create a linear model, that minimizes the sum of a square of error, SSE. Our target is to minimize this error. If our regression model is significant, it will eat up. Otherwise, that is much of the raw SSE we had when we assumed. Okay. So what we assumed here? We assumed that here the independent variable, whatever the variable, did not even exist. हमारे पास केवल मील और केवल उसका अमाउंट टिप है. हालांकि टिप डिपेंड ऑन विच डाटा, that the bill amount, and this bill amount is not here mentioned, and that's why this becomes typical. We got the linear line, simple line. Okay. So you can say, based on this, due to the unavailability of this data or independent variable, you can say that the regression line will or should literally fit the data better. Okay. Okay. So what do you need? So what you conclude? You conclude here. When conducting simple linear regression with two variables, we will determine how good that the fits the data by comparing it to this type. Understood? We will try two types of. We have seen first model. We will minimize after the minimization. We will develop second type of model. We compare that model. Okay, and we will find which one is the better. Okay, which will provide the minimum error. Okay, so in the next example, okay, so in this case, if a two variable, you can say if a two variable regression models looks like what we have discussed here, that example looks like this example what we have discussed. What does the other variable do to help explain the dependent variable? So your answer will be nothing. We can't do anything because we only have one data. Hana? So for this purpose, you can't do any help. You can't do anything. Right? Is it clear? Yes or no? So now just we are take the review. What we have studied till? You can say simple linear regression is really a comparison of two models. One where the independent variable does not even exist. यहाँ पर आपका मॉडल ज़्यादा एक्यूरेट नहीं होता है. Or in the second, other model where the other uses the best fit regression line. Okay, if there is one variable, only one variable, the best prediction for other values, how you found? Just to find the mean value is the mean value. With the help of this mean value, just to have fitted mean of this dependent variable. Okay. Next, what you will study? You studied the difference between the best fit line, and the observed value is known as or called residual, or you can say the error. Right? Now, next. So now you understand, hope so, you need, if you want to develop the relation between or correlate, you want to develop the regression model, you require minimum of two variable data. You need two variable data. So therefore, we have the by simple number of variable, how much number of variable will available. Okay, the model is more accurate. Okay, and if the number of variable is less and the data number is also less, then your model is not very accurate. Okay, but at the same time, as the number of variable increasing, the data increasing, your complexity is also increasing in order to develop that model. Okay, so now we will try to discuss the bivariate statistic, or you can say the model. Okay, so just we are taking the review and then we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so what the foundation is? The foundation is simply the correlation, okay, and the ANOVA. Okay, these two will provide, this is the statistic tool, this is the relation between the two variable. Correlation provide the relation between the two variable, and the ANOVA is the statistics, just like prediction parameters that you can say in the terms of the SSE, MSE, okay, such type of this. This will provide you the linear regression. Okay. Let's say we have same variable 1 and variable 2. Variable 2 data. Okay. Let's say we have the function, the value of y is a function of, let's say, x. Y is a function of, let's say, x. Okay. So whatever the x value is changing, the value of y is changing. Let's say we have taken the x here. So based on this, y is coming here. Okay. And so on. So different type of the value we will got like this. Okay. Now our idea is to develop the linear regression model. So before that, you have to analyze some algebra. You have to review the algebra, that you know that y is equals to mx plus b is a straight line, where m is the slope and y is the intercept. Yes or no?
Yes.
X is the random variable. You can say random variable. M is the slope. Y, B is the the intercept. Y intercept. Okay, and y intercept B. How you found? You can found it where x equal to 0. That coordinate is very fixed. How can you found? Y comma 0. 0 comma y. Yes or no? 0 comma y. Let's say we have y is equal to 2x plus 3. Y equal to 2x plus 3. Okay. So how you will found out these things? So it is very clear. The slope is here 2, and the intercept is 3. Okay. So 0 comma 3, right? So, and when you put the x equal to, let's say x equal to 1, so y will provide 5. Okay, x equal to 1, so y will be 5. So it is there. So you can draw this line here. So this type of line you got. Okay. So just I am stopping here. In the next class, we will discuss in more detail the bivariate statistic and how we are going to take the gradient, how it minimizes this error based on the linear regression. We will see in the next class. Okay.